Controllable pitch propeller we have discussed. Have you understood that properly? This is a very frequently asked question in the exams. So do you understand this? Do you want me to say anything about it? No, I'm happy to move on.
No, sir.
Okay, ठीक है. Questions are all easy. ठीक है. Boss, rake, skew, face, radius, right? Short note on control pitch propeller. ठीक है. Everything done. The last topic in this unit is stern tube. Actually, the syllabus that we are covering up, that is not the functional part. We are only focusing on the construction part of propellers and propeller shaft. Okay, and in the construction, we are just bothered about the arrangements. We are not even bothered about the design aspect of it. Most of the functional parts, you will study that in the naval architecture section. That will be much more interesting compared to these things. Okay, you will have it maybe in next semester. So this stern tube is essentially, what happens is, let me see, we have the, okay, in this I do not have laser, we have the propeller. Okay, now the propeller is connected to the shaft, and after a few mechanisms, some intermediate machineries are there, because we are interested in having some sensors, because we want to measure the torque, the RPM, and so on. Many different parameters we want to know. But eventually the propeller is connected to the shaft. The shaft is connected to the engine. Now, here the catch is that we want the propeller to come out of the ship's hull. Now, if it is coming out of the ship's hull, definitely there is an opening. And we do not want any water to go inside our ship through that opening. Okay, this particular tube, this tube that facilitates the passing on of the shaft from inside the ship to outside the ship is the stern tube. Okay, remember, the stern tube is not the shaft exactly. Stern tube is the passageway through which the shaft is passing. Okay, now this stern tube can be of two different types. Okay, one is oil lubricated, one is water lubricated. Okay. Having said that, let's see. You can read these things, later on, not to worry. Instead of showing this figure, actually, this is slightly more complicated for you to understand as of now. But let me tell you what the thing is. Okay. Okay, ठीक है, देखिए. This shaft, what we do is, Let me draw something. The ship aft frame, what we do is we put this tube inside the tube. There will this part, this side is like a flange. Okay, this is like a flange. This is the section. Okay, this side, this one is the stern tube actually. Now inside this, on this we have a flange, and on this flange, through this flange actually, what we do is we pass the propeller shaft. Okay, this is the propeller shaft. This propeller shaft's front end will be slightly tapered. Okay, slightly. This tapering is done because we will be fixing the boss of the propeller there. Now, fixing of the boss of the propeller is also an interesting thing. We will come to that shortly. We pass the shaft through it, and then we add a gasket kind of thing. Okay, this is a gasket seal kind of thing. Now this is sealed here, and on the forward side also we have sealed it here. Inside this, we will have a whole lot of mechanisms. We will have a cooling arrangement, because inside this, because it is a very enclosed area, the motion of the shaft generates heat. So we have a stern tube cooling arrangement also. But those all mechanisms are not important as of now. For you, what is important to know is there are two types of arrangement. One is a oil lubricated. One is the water lubricated. Okay. And oil lubricated is generally used when we have a short length of the shaft. If the length of the shaft is short, we can have oil lubricated stern tube. Why we are worried about the length is, for shorter length of the tube, we will have less amount of deflections. Deflections that is possible is comparatively low. And why we are worried about deflection? Because when we have a oil lubricated system, essentially it has oil in it, and the deflections can lead to leakage of oil. That is why for shorter shafts, we make use of oil lubricated system. And for longer shafts, like the one we saw in case of the twin screw system, we have a, what is that called? Water lubricated system. Now, this tube that we spoke of, in case of water lubricated systems, this is something the tube looks like through which it passes. Inside this, we will have this wood. This is a wood actually. These are wooden blocks, but this is slightly older one. Nowadays, not every ship uses wood. There is this wood called as lignum vitae. This is very
So
hard
this is
and
the stern tube, the inside one.
yes. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now this lignum vitae, that is a very strong and hard wood. It has a huge amount of historical significance also. But this was used a few years back, I would say. Nowadays, not every ship uses this lignum vitae strips. They prefer using even those hardened plastic materials also they come, fiber type, hardened materials. They prefer using that. And for your exam sake, I actually, this was a PDF that I could not change. Wait, let me show you a book. Just a minute, let me find that book. I found, but I forgot to add a bookmark to it. Just a minute. Where is that? This शायद I had it. Yes, I had this one. Yes, I got this. You have the book by Taylor. Actually, this is a much simpler drawing. Okay, I mean, looks kind of complex, but this is how it is. We have the shaft, and in between we have those lignum vitae strips, as it is shown here. Acha, I need my marker. On top of the shaft will be the lignum vitae strips. They kind of form a layer on it. In between, we will add some bushing kind of arrangement. This bushing kind of acts as a intermediate barrier plus kind of a cushioning effect it provides to these things. And we will have a aft locking arrangement here, which is written here as a check ring. And this is on the aft side, and on the forward side also, we will have a locking mechanism just to pack it up. In between, we will have our cooling arrangement systems and a lot many other things. What is shown here is actually the shaft. This key is again a factor which is shown here. It is not mandatory. Earlier days, these keys used to kind of, when you are fixing the hub of the propeller, they will kind of lock against it. Okay, so kind of the hub gets connected to this, and the turning moment is kind of, passed on through the key to the shaft and to the ship. That kind of thing it was. But there are key type of propellers and keyless propellers. That means we don't require a key to lock the propeller onto the shaft. Because nowadays, many shipyards, not many, it is a very frequently used tactics. What they do is they kind of, this thing, right? When we heat a substance, it expands. Am I right?
Yes,
You
sir.
all are aware of this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now you must be aware, if I cool it something, it kind of contracts a little.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So many shipyards, they do this also, that they take liquid nitrogen. It is cold. They can cover the shaft end with this, and the hub of the propeller can be heated, so it kind of slightly expands. This has contracted a little. You fit them together, and when the temperature comes back to normal, it will be a very tight arrangement. It's almost impossible to come out. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I mean,
Sir,
that kind of, yes.
so while explaining or showing the diagram, could you please use a pointer or something so that we could know at where you are pointing?
Okay, sorry. Actually, in PPTs now, we have that action of pointers.
Yes, a laser pointer.
This PDF, we do not have a pointer thing. So that is why I put arrows like this and I say that. I forgot to say that. Okay. But it's a matter of today's class only. From next week, the
Yes, sir.
way I'm listening, I will be in front of you class in the class, and it will be all interactive kind of thing. So not to worry. Yes. So this basically this key that is shown, it is just a added plate which helps us to lock the propeller onto it. But it's not mandatory to have a key on the shaft. We can fit a keyless propeller onto a and various other type of mechanisms that we have about our stern tube. It's a very complex topic actually. They have added it for some reason, but you don't have to remember everything, how it is made, how the stuffing box material is made and everything. You just have to know that we have a flanged tube. Basically, we have a flanged tube. We pass our propeller shaft through this. On this flange tube, we add a locking mechanism here, which that person is calling here as the check ring. On the aft also, we will have a locking mechanism, and between, if it is a water-cooled system, we will have lignum vitae strips and bushes. Okay, and in the aft, again, the bulkhead is there, right there, and we will have a locking arrangement. That's it. In between, there will be intermediate mechanisms for cooling and for other stuffs, but that is not required. You just need to know that we have this kind of arrangement, and the stern tube allows us to pass the propeller shaft from inside the hull to outside the hull without letting water to come inside. With this, this book is also there in the Moodle app, this merchant ship construction. Okay. And with that, actually, with that, there is nothing in this property. If you want to ask something on this topic, I will be happy to answer. Otherwise, I will probably start a new topic. What do you want?
Sir, new topic.
New topic? Okay. I'm
Yes,
happy.
sir, it's clear.
So, in the new topic, we can start with rudder, or
So
we
what
can
would be
start.
the syllabus for CT?
Actually, I got the mail today. Let me think it over. Okay. I
Okay,
will.
sir.
Yes. Monday we have a class. Monday I will tell you. Because the thing is, if I make the syllabus too small, then that is not a good thing.
Sir,
Because we have
Monday,
only 2 CTs for you to revise. I'm sorry, you're not audible. Your voice was breaking.
sir, from Monday we have practicals.
Practicals means? You will not be having theory classes, is it?
So on 14th and 15th, we have a physics external practical.
14th and 15th. Let me see that. So theory classes will not happen on that day for the entire duration.
Yes, sir.
So we are not sure about that.
I don't think they will let that happen. Complete day holiday for 14, 15. I have your classes on Monday, Tuesday only. Thereafter on Friday. Okay, we will see. Not to worry. Okay. If 14th and 15th we do not meet, what I will do is I have the number of few people in your class. I think Anik, I have his number for sure. And I can at least let him know what is the syllabus. or maybe I will put a mail to you through Moodle. Okay. So do not worry. I just have to think, because the syllabus should not be too large. Otherwise, you will not be able to prepare for it. It should not be too short also. Okay. But as of now, nobody has told me that you have practicals. So we will see. Okay. Let's talk about, because we just finished propellers, let's talk about rudders. Okay, before we move on, I have a very good question for you. One question. Are you all there? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, please answer me. Why are we adding the propeller behind the ship?
So to push the ship.
In the forward direction.
But if I put the propeller in the forward, it will pull the ship in the forward direction. What is the problem?
So to give the direction also, like the rudder is at the aft end.
Okay.
So with
So are you trying to say that the rudder should be behind the propeller?
yes, sir.
On the forward end, there will be no way for what it is.
I'm sorry, your voice was breaking. I tried to hear, but I could not understand. Oh, okay. Those were good reasons actually. But I would like to, explore more reasons, maybe some new kind of reasons, out of the box kind of reasons, if anyone has. Because, dekho, let me tell you, I would like to see who all are saying. So I'm just stopping this. Just help me say, when you are thinking about this question, okay, like why aft? What are the factors that you're taking into consideration? Are you taking into factor only the operational aspect? Because from operational aspect, it is like, okay, pushing,
So
pulling is
design
coming into the
also.
design. Okay. About design, what is the problem? Design is a true thing, but
Sir,
think
it will
more on
also
that.
consume more fuel and it will require more power if we put it in the.
Okay. ठीक है.
Sir, as engine room is also in the aft end of the ship, so that's why.
Yes. Very good. That is a very good point. Engine room is aft, so we have kept aft. But any more, can you elaborate on that? How is the location of engine room affecting our position of propeller?
So the
Because the shaft
machinery
is
which
attached
is
to the
running
engine
the
room.
propeller.
Yes, actually, I would like to refine the statement that you said. If I refine it, I would say it is the shaft length, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. If the
So
propeller is,
if it is
yes,
in forward direction, the shaft would be much more longer.
yes, that is one part. So from this aspect, yes, you're 100% correct. Now, construction aspect also true, but any other aspect can you think from where we can find a point? Any other factor? Think of it. See, think of these questions in your normal point of view. Suppose you buy a car, okay? You think of some factors, right? Maybe the financial aspect, the safety aspect, the speed aspect, blah, blah, blah. So, similarly, think of such factors and try to think, is there any point pertaining to this factor? Think like that. From safety point of view, let me give a hint. From safety point of view, can you think of a point?
So if there is a collision,
Mm-hmm.
so a small vessel or a fishing boat, it would be destroyed completely
Exactly.
through
Then
the
how will we?
propeller.
Yes, exactly. We cannot afford to lose our propulsion mechanism. So we need some safety for the propeller. So right here itself, just by thinking, We found 2 points, good ones. One is the shaft length. It is extremely difficult for us to have that long shaft. The second thing, the safety. Now, let's think. We will come to the rudder now. We will be starting the unit on rudders. Now tell me, why is the rudder fitted at the aft of the ship? Think of it in the same manner and give me a few points.
So first it is safety only.
Yes, very good. Then,
Sir, and also if the propeller is at the aft end, the rudder should also be at the aft end, because as the propeller moves the ship, the rudder provides the direction to the ship.
okay, okay. But there is one more important point which justifies the position of the rudder right behind the propeller. I would like to know that point. It is not difficult. I just want you to kind of brainstorm and tell me what that point is. Think of it. It's a logical question. Just, think of ships as a very small thing. Think of, how it is working. What does it need to work? Why do we need it for the ship? And so on. Any other points?
So as the propeller pushes the water with more force or velocity,
Mm-hmm.
due to that.
Yes, actually that. See, rudder, what is the rudder doing actually? Rudder is a flat plate. So that flat plate on it is affecting a force of water. That water force is shifting the rudder and our ship is turning. Now this propeller is a hydrodynamic device. We talked about this earlier. It sucks water from the forward and it throws it behind with a slightly greater speed. This greater speed water, when it hits the rudder is kind of more efficient. Okay, so from that point of view, also we can say that positioning a rudder behind the propeller or right behind the propeller is a possibly good reason. One is safety, of course, but there is one more point also. It is very interesting point, but you all have not thought about it. Let me give you a hint. Think of it in this manner. Now, no, the example is not appropriate. Okay, see, behind the ship, I have the propeller. If I turn the propeller left, the ship goes left, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But if I keep the rudder, if I keep the rudder in the forward part and I turn the rudder port side, will my ship turn towards the port side?
No.
Okay, actually that is a very complicated topic. I want you to think on it, because actually it can move in the port side, sometimes not, depending upon how you have arranged the rudder. But there is one more practical aspect about why we are not fitting the rudder in the forward direction. Now, you all have not thought about it because you have not figured the picture in your mind.
Sir,
Picture out
the
a
rudder,
what?
sir, the rudder can't be fixed in the front part because of the symmetry, sir. You can't fix the rudder in the forward part.
I mean, yes. See, all these reasons that you have answered, I did not help you much. You figured it out yourself, right? Or was there Google to help you?
Ourselves, sir.
Yes. So, I mean, my point is to make you feel that many of the things that we are studying, you know that. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
You just need to ask yourself those questions in a relevant manner. You know many of the things that we are studying. Only thing is you just have to tap into the right places to get the right information. So think of it. I have a ship. Okay, I have a ship. Where do I mean, this is the bow of the ship. Oh, sorry. I've not shared the screen. 1 minute. Yes. So this is a bow of the ship. Where do I fix the rudder? That should have been the first point. You should have figured out. I mean, you did not imagine that way. But many of the things pertaining to ship construction, at least, they will come to your mind just like by imagining out the different symmetries. Here, if you fix the rudder, how you will fix the rudder? You cannot fix the rudder here. So that, I mean, from construction point of view, it is difficult. Do you know every year, in the Auto Expo, do you know what is this Auto Expos?
Yes, sir.
I mean, big car brands, they present new futuristic designs, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But do you know why those futuristic designs never come into production? They draw some inspiration from those designs and they make new cars, but they don't actually bring those designs into the production. You know why?
Sir,
Now,
because they are not efficient and lot of risk is involved in them.
yes, actually, that is one part, but the important or the major factor is that designing something and designing something that is possible for production are two different things. Because when you're sitting on your computer and you're designing something, you will go on making stuffs, but you have to consult with your production team as to can we actually manufacture such a thing with
Yes, so they might
certain.
be not efficient or feasible for the driving on
Yes,
roads.
exactly. Because a few years back, like this BMW, they launched a design in the grill was right from the bonnet till the bottom. Now, I mean, okay, it looked something, but it was not productionally feasible. So similarly, when we ask a question, why we don't fit this over there? Why propeller is back? Why propeller is not front? Why, rudder is front, not front, behind and all? You have to think about the feasibility aspects, the safety aspects, the functional aspects, and so on. Okay, but it's okay. We will continue our discussion. We have the entire semester. So we will take small topics. We will try to explore how to think about them in the right manner. And you will be the one answering. I'm not answering, so there is no problem. Okay. So this is two things. Now, rudder, have you ever thought rudder is a very small device? The rudder, but somehow is able to turn a massive object like a ship, right? The rudder is so small. Have you ever thought how is that possible? is it the rudder which is actually turning the ship, or what is exactly turning the ship? Have you ever given it a thought kind of thing?
So it is the water that is turning them.
Yes, actually, it is the water's forces that turn the ship. Rudder, the work of the rudder is that it should be capable of initiating a turning moment. Okay, we will come into this. In the Monday class, we will first understand. I mean, it is not part of the ship construction topic, but unless and until you understand the mechanism, you will not appreciate the beauty of the structure. So Monday, do you want me to continue till 1? I can. Last week you all said about lunch, so I told you 15 minutes earlier I will send. Do you want to go 15 minutes earlier?
Yes, sir.
Acha, okay. ठीक है. No, that I understand. You have to eat at least. So, okay, then let me stop here itself. Just tell me your attendance. Yes.
So could you please share this annotated PDF also?
Annotated PDF, how to share that? I will see. I'll find out a way.
Okay, sir.
If I can, I will do that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. So tell me the attendance, division 1, please tell me who all are absent.
Sir, 13, 14, and 35.
13, 14, and 35. 13, 14, and 35. Mayank Singh. Okay. Division 2, all are absent.
048.
048. Okay. 05.
1.
051. Okay. Ranbir. Okay.
054.
054.
And that's it, sir.
That's it, na? ठीक है. So these all people, let me just repeat from Div 2, Pritam Kumar Das, Ranbir, and Sakar Mathur.
Sir, Mayank Singh
Div
present.
1, Mayank Singh. Did you say Mayank Singh? Mayank Singh कहाँ पे हो
Actually,
भाई?
due to network, he got out from it.
कहाँ पे हो आप Mayank Singh? इस डिवीजन में हो क्या? डिवीजन 1 में?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mayank Singh. Wait, let me see. देखिए डिवीजन 1 में only people who are absent is Bangad Swarup Sunil and Bhagat Durbang Rakesh. Mayank Singh को तो हमने absent मारा ही नहीं है शायद. हाँ, Mayank Singh. Okay. You are there ना?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Okay. That's it. So 2 people from Div 1 and 3 people from Div 2. Oh, I'm saving this. I hope there is no problem with that. So, and see you on Monday, hopefully. Okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye.